But as things for Nick have gone, some interesting stuff happened. And by interesting, we're gonna kind of talk about this here. So something interesting happened to Nick, and a guy showed up at his house last night. And we're gonna talk about what he does here, because this is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. This is on his Ring camera, by the way. That is a crossbow. And that is a Ruger Mark. That's a Ruger 22. It's a 22 caliber pistol. Apparently, this guy's got a laser on it. He like that beam in your eye, nibba. Got that beam in your eye. Also, these are the mailboxes. They've all been torn apart. People are fucking with them. So all the shit's on the ground. But yeah, here we go. That's a 22 pistol. So here we go. Yeah, I would argue it's probably a Ruger Mark II. I don't know what kind it is, but so that's the first part of it. Then there's a second video. And this is going on while apparently Fuentes claims he was streaming.
Yo, Nick!
Guy's yelling for Nick. And he's holding a gun just all like surreptitiously, like, ooh, doo-doo. Ooh. So, and from here, chat, things got a little more going. Things got going. And we know that because there was in Berwyn, Illinois, there was a police shooting. So here is their statement from December 18th. So, and they released it on December 18th at 11:30 p.m. Police officers responded to the 1800 block of Home Avenue, and they reported of a male subject with a gun. They said they located the suspect, who then fled on foot and escaped from officers. He then forced entry into a residence nearby on the next street over, where he fatally shot the two dogs inside. Yeah, so some random person, sitting there minding their own business, gets her house broken into, and a guy kills her doggos. So they chased him back over towards the 1800 block of Home Avenue where Fuentes lives. He disobeyed the verbal commands to stop, and he proceeded to shoot at the cops, and they returned fire and fatally struck him and killed him. No officers were injured. This guy was also believed to have committed a triple homicide in Mahomet, Illinois, earlier that day, about 130 miles away. 130 miles away, chat, and he happens to come up to Nick Fuentes' fucking doorstep. Wow, at first when I heard about this, I thought it was bullshit, but I'm like, wow, that's sussy. That's real sussy. That's real sussy. Tony Gunk says Catboy confirmed. Do I know about who he killed earlier? No, we don't know who he killed earlier. So Jim says BB guns. No, that's a real gun. That's a Ruger Mark II. That's a 22 caliber pistol. That's not a pellet gun. But this is interesting. He gets all the way to Nick's house. And something doesn't add up here, guys. Something doesn't add up. And this is from
say that suspect
The local news there.
was wanted for allegedly killing 3 people sometime yesterday. Police say then he made his way here to Berwyn. Take a look
Here we
at
go.
this video. Surveillance video from a neighbor shows
See, you can see him running away.
the police response in the 1800 block of Home Avenue here in Berwyn. Officers responded just after 11:30 last night for the report of a person with a gun. He fled on foot where he ended up 1 block away on Winona. Berwyn police say then he broke into a home and shot and killed 2 dogs. Police saw him running through someone's backyard here on Home where they say he shot at officers who then returned fire, killing him.
So yeah, there is some footage of the guy running around, but yeah, this is weird. It's very weird, guys. It's very weird. Something doesn't make sense there. The 3 people are 3 non-connected people. Well, Scorpio says, no matter what you were going to say, something doesn't add up. Oh, no, I agree. Something doesn't add up. I mean, holy shit. Like, Scorpio, if you need me to Venmo you a tamp, let me know, buddy. I was saying something doesn't add up. Something's really sus here. It doesn't make any sense. This guy goes out and commits a triple homicide, shows up 120 miles later on Nick's front step with a gun and with an actual gun and is looking for Nick Fuentes. Like, something doesn't make sense here, man. Yeah, I don't like Nick Fuentes, but I'll also tell you something doesn't add up, and I'll also tell you I think he's a Fed. He's a glowy. Something's weird here. And if you watch the rest of that body cam video, which we probably will at some point this weekend, that whole video sounds like a setup too. When you listen to the women involved in it who talk to the police, it all sounds like a setup. We need that report as well. Well, I'm sure that'll come out soon, but not now. Yeah, it's a glow-in-the-dark thumb. Yeah, something is weird here. Is it sure it's the same guy? It sounds like it's the same guy. Sounds like it's the same guy. Urabras says, do I think Nick called the cops on him? I mean, I would have. Yeah, but I think even Fuentes admits, like, he was in the middle of a stream. He didn't even know the guy was there until he looked at his footage afterwards. Brains Taste Awful says he was on foot but covered 120 miles in a day. No. He killed the 3 people, drove up to Chicago. It looks like he rode a motorcycle to Chicago, then did the whole knocking on next door, running across the street, breaking into a house, killing the dogs, and then running back out and getting killed. So, no, there were 2 separate series of events. I don't know the identities of people he killed, so I don't know the answer there. That whole area of West Chicago is Mexican. Well, that's why Nick lives there. Uber exists. Yeah, but he's wearing a helmet. I don't think he'd wear a helmet if he Ubered. Is it a pure coincidence? Yeah, there's no such thing as a coincidence here. And that's the thing. He drove all the way there. Something doesn't make sense. Something's up. Not a Fed. That's what a Fed would say. That's what a Fed would say, chat. So the crossbow is just very interesting. Like, what was like, is the crossbow is his backup weapon? If the 22 doesn't work, he's just gonna crank that back and just. That would be very interesting. That would be very, very interesting. Danny's saying Trendaragua. Why would Venezuelan guys want to kill Nick Fuentes? Because no, but something's not right. Like, who did it? I don't know, but something doesn't add up, guys. Something doesn't add up. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? He's likely an ex-Fuentes donor. He's a former Groiper. I don't buy that. Something's up here. Something's up. Oh. Buddy knew Nick's name. Well, yeah, but how many people know Nick Fuentes' name? It's not like nobody knew that, and the docs is out there. So the guy's working with information that's widely available. That doesn't mean he's still not sus. Oh, I agree that there's something glowy there. There's something glowy. How old was that guy? He didn't look very old. He looked like a younger person. It's Hunger Games inspired. Yeah. The Mexicans are hated in Berwyn. That's interesting. Tony says Nick is up against some rough and cruel men in that hood. He better run. Manny says, why is it sus? He's hated by hundreds of thousands of liberals. Yeah, but I just... He's already existed. And they, the idea that they didn't know about him before. So have it being just some run-of-the-mill, lefty Antifa type, I just don't see them getting involved like this. There's something more to it. There's something more to it than that. Because they would have been able to do this for a long time. Something doesn't add up. Something doesn't add up. The Shelby says, I don't understand what's being implied. I don't know. It smells like some sort of fucking glowy op. I mean, it sounds like some sort of Fed op in a way. I don't know. Maybe this guy was MK Ultra to go cut up a loose end, type a loose end or something. I don't know. It's not just some random act of violence from a leftist. I don't see it as that.